Welcome to Bible in a Year with Scott Purcell. I'm so glad you're joining me. This is a daily reading of portions of the Bible, following a plan that will include the entire Bible in a year. And now, let's open the book and begin our readings.
This is the reading for day 153. If your reading is aligned with the calendar year in a non-leap year, this is for June 2nd, or in a leap year for June 1st. The Old Testament reading is from 2 Samuel chapter 2, verse 8, through 2 Samuel chapter 3, verse 21. 2 Samuel chapter 2, verse 8. But Abner, the son of Ner, the commander of Saul's army, had taken Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, and brought him over to Mahanaim. He made him king over Gilead, over the Asherites, over Jezreel, over Ephraim, over Benjamin, and over Israel, all of it. Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, was 40 years old when he became king over Israel, and he reigned 2 years. However, the house of Judah followed David. The number of days that David was king over Hebron, over the house of Judah, was 7 years and 6 months. Abner, the son of Ner, and the servants of Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, went out from Mahanaim to Gibeon. Then Joab, the son of Zeruiah, and the servants of David went out, and they met at the pool of Gibeon. The one group sat on one side of the pool, and the other sat on the other side. Abner said to Joab, "Let the young men come up and fight in our presence." And Joab said, "Let them come up." So they came forward and passed by in number, 12 for Benjamin, and for Ishbosheth the son of Saul, and 12 from the servants of David. Then each seized his opponents by the head, and each thrust his sword in the side of his opponent, so they fell together. So they called the name of that place Helkath Hazurim, which is in Gibeon. Then the battle became increasingly fierce on that day, and Abner and the men of Israel were defeated before the servants of David. The 3 sons of Zeruiah were there, Joab, and Abishai, and Asahel. Now Asahel was swift with his feet, as one of the gazelles which is in the open field. So Asahel pursued Abner, and he did not turn aside to the right or to the left from going after Abner. Abner turned around and said, "Are you this Asahel?" And he said, "Yes." Abner said to him, "Turn aside to your right or to your left. Seize for yourself one of the young men and take his belongings for yourself." But Asahel was not willing to turn aside from him. So Abner said to Asahel once again, "For your own sake, turn aside from following me. Why should I strike you down to the ground? How could I show my face to Joab your brother?" But he refused to turn away, so Abner struck him in the stomach with the butt of the spear, and the spear went out of his back. He fell there, and he died on the spot. Then all who came to the place where Asahel fell and died just stood there. So Joab and Abishai pursued Abner when the sun went down, and they came to the hill country of Ammah, which is before Giah on the way to the wilderness of Gibeon. The descendants of Benjamin rallied after Abner, and they became as one fighting group and stood on the top of a certain hill. Then Abner called to Joab and said, "Will the sword devour forever? Do you not know that there will be bitterness in the end? How long will you not tell the people to turn away from pursuing their brothers?" Joab said, "As God lives, for if you had not spoken, the people would surely have gone up in the morning, each one of them from following after his brother." Then Joab blew on the trumpet, and all the people stopped. And they no longer pursued after Israel, and they did not fight with them again. Then Abner and his men went through the Arabah all that night, and they crossed over the Jordan. They went all the forenoon and came to Mahanaim. After Joab returned from pursuing Abner, he gathered all the people, 19 of the servants of David were missing along with Asahel. The servants of David had killed some of the Benjaminites among the men of Abner. 360 men had died. Then they picked up Asahel and buried him in the grave of his father, which was at Bethlehem. Joab and his men went all that night, arriving in Hebron at first light. 2 Samuel chapter 3. The battle was prolonged between the house of Saul and the house of David, but David was growing stronger and stronger, while the house of Saul was becoming weaker and weaker. And sons were born to David in Hebron. His firstborn was Amnon by Ahinoam from Jezreel. His second was Chileab by Abigail, the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. The third was Absalom, the son of Maacah, who was the daughter of Talmai, the king of Geshur. The fourth was Adonijah, the son of Haggith. The fifth was Shephatiah, the son of Abital. The sixth was Ithrim by Eglah, the wife of David. These were born to David in Hebron. As the war between the house of Saul and the house of David was continuing, Abner was strengthening himself in the house of Saul. Saul had had a concubine, and her name was Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah. Then Ishbosheth said to Abner, "Why did you have sex with my father's concubine?" Abner became very angry at the words of Ishbosheth, and he said, "Am I the head of a dog which is for Judah today? Do I not continue to show loyal love with the house of Saul your father, to his brothers and to his friends? I have not let you fall into the hands of David, yet you have accused me of sin with this woman today. Thus may God punish Abner if I do not accomplish what Yahweh has sworn to David, specifically to transfer the kingdom from the house of Saul and to establish the throne of David over Israel and over Judah from Dan to Beersheba." And Ishbosheth was no longer able to answer Abner because he feared him. Abner sent messengers to David where he was staying. "To whom does the land belong? Make your covenant with me. Look, my hand is with you to bring all of Israel over to you." He said, "Good, I will make a covenant with you. I am asking only one thing from you. You shall not see my face unless you bring Michal, the daughter of Saul, when you come to see me." Then David sent messengers to Ishbosheth the son of Saul, saying, "Give me my wife Michal, whom I betrothed to myself for 100 foreskins of the Philistines." So Ishbosheth sent and took her from her husband, from Paltiel the son of Laish. But her husband went with her, weeping all along after her as far as Bahurim. Then Abner said to him, "Go and return." So he returned. The word of Abner came to the elders of Israel, saying, "For quite some time you were seeking David as king over you. So then, bring it about, because Yahweh had said to David, 'Through the hand of David my servant I am about to save my people Israel from the hand of the Philistines and from the hand of all of their enemies.'" Abner also spoke privately to Benjamin. Abner also went to speak to David in Hebron, all that was good in the eyes of Israel and in the eyes of all the house of Benjamin. Then Abner came to David in Hebron, and with him were 20 men. David had prepared a feast for Abner and for the men who were with him. And Abner said to David, "Let me get up and go and gather all of Israel to my lord the king, that they may make a covenant with you, so you can reign over all which your soul desires." So David dismissed Abner, and he left in peace. And look, the servants of David and Joab came from the raid, and they brought much plunder with them. But Abner was not with David at Hebron, for he had dismissed him, and he had gone in peace. When Joab and all the army that was with him came, they told Joab, "Abner the son of Ner came to the king, and he sent him away, and he left in peace." The New Testament reading is from John 21, verse 1 through 25. John 21. After these things, Jesus revealed himself again to the disciples by the Sea of Tiberias. Now he revealed himself in this way. Simon Peter and Thomas, who was called Didymus, and Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee and 2 others of his disciples were together. Simon Peter said to them, "I am going fishing." They said to him, "We also are coming with you." They went out and got into the boat, and during the night they caught nothing. Now, when it was already early morning, Jesus stood on the beach. However, the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. So Jesus came to them. "Children, you do not have any fish to eat, do you?" They answered him, "No." And he said to them, "Throw the net on the right side of the boat, and you'll find some." So they threw it, and they were no longer able to haul it in from the large number of the fish. Then that disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, "It is the Lord." So Simon Peter, when he heard that it was the Lord, tied around himself his outer garment, for he was naked, and threw himself into the sea. But the other disciples came in the boat, dragging the net of fish, because they were not far from the land, but about 200 cubits away. So when they got out on the land, they saw a charcoal fire laid there, and a fish lying on it, and bread. Jesus said to them, "Bring some of the fish that you have just now caught." So Simon Peter got into the boat and hauled the net to the land full of large fish, 153. And although there were so many, the net was not torn. Jesus said to them, "Come, eat breakfast." But none of the disciples dared to ask him, "Who are you?" because they knew that it was the Lord. Jesus came and took the bread and gave it to them, and the fish likewise. This was now the 3rd time Jesus was revealed to the disciples after he had been raised from the dead. Now, after he had eaten breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Feed my lambs." He said to him again a 2nd time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Shepherd my sheep." He said to him a 3rd time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was distressed because he said to him a 3rd time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep." "Truly, truly, I say to you, when you were young, you tied your clothes around yourself and walked wherever you wanted. But when you grow old, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will tie you up and carry you where you do not want to go." Now he said this to indicate by what kind of death he would glorify God. And after he had said this, he said to him, "Follow me." Peter turned and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following them, who also leaned back on his chest at the dinner and said, "Lord, who is the one betraying you?" So when he saw this one, Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, but what about this one?" Jesus said to him, "If I want him to remain until I come, what is that to you? You follow me." So this saying went out to the brothers that the disciple would not die. But Jesus did not say to him that he would not die, but, "If I want him to remain until I come, what is that to you?" This is the disciple who is testifying about these things, and who has written down these things, and we know that his testimony is true. Now, there are also many other things Jesus did, which, if they were written down one after the other, I suppose not even the world itself could contain the books that would be written. The wisdom literature reading is from Psalm 69, verse 1 through verse 12. Psalm 69. For the music director, according to the lilies of David. Save me, O God, because waters have come up to my neck. I sink in the mud of the deep, and there is no foothold. I have come to watery depths, and the torrent floods over me. I am weary with my calling out. My throat is parched. My eyes are exhausted in my waiting for my God. More numerous than the hairs of my head are those hating me without a cause. Those who are destroying me, my enemies, wrongfully, are mighty. What I did not steal, I then must restore. O God, you yourself know my foolishness, and my guilty deeds are not hidden from you. Let those who wait for you not be put to shame because of me, O Lord Yahweh of hosts. Let those who seek you not be disgraced because of me, O God of Israel. Because on account of you I have borne reproach. Disgrace has covered my face. I have become a stranger to my brothers and a foreigner to my mother's sons, because the zeal for your house has consumed me, and the reproaches of those reproaching you have fallen on me. When I wept in the fasting of my soul, it became reproaches for me. When I made sackcloth my clothing, I became for them a byword. Those sitting at the gate talk about me as also the songs of the drunkards. This concludes the reading for day 153. Thank you for listening.
These daily readings are made possible by your generous support of the Global Outreach Ministry of Scott Purcell. To partner with us and enable this work and others like it, please visit huttobible.com/give and select Go Pastor Support from the fund list. You can also sign up for ministry updates at scott-purcell.epistle.org/subscribe. Both of those links can be found in the podcast description. Thank you for helping us share God's Word.